How's it going, everybody? It is May 26th. What I'm going to do today is I'll do a quick uh, overview of the numbers, but I want to show you guys quickly. I want to compare some of the sales from last year and look at the last couple of months and exactly, for example, what these kinds of numbers mean. Because I was looking at May so far. So right now in the US, I've actually beat all the previous months of 2022. And then if we scroll back, like besides this spike here of, let's say 3 months here and then going back through all of 2021, this looks like it might be the best month in the last 2 years in the US. And then, but I was thinking, how am I doing overall? How am I doing with international sales? And that's where the biggest difference is. Um, I don't actually know if this is going to beat maybe March of 2021 and maybe like November, December of 2020. But we're going back, a year and a half. And I understand these aren't big sales or anything like that, but I'm just talking about the growth because it does make a difference. To constantly get about $1,000 in royalties every month. With just one platform, it does kind of change things, and I understand that not everybody's in the same position as I am because I do work a full-time job. I have multiple other sources of income, and then when it comes to merch, it's still generating $1,000 a month. Like to me, it really uh, it's a big deal, right? I think we're getting kind of desensitized when it comes to watching these earnings videos from other people, not realizing the level of success that they're at, especially if somebody's in, tier 100,000 or 200,000. Like those are some serious numbers. So I want to kind of reflect on that and talk about that somewhat quickly. Uh, but of course, I don't want to rush. So let's look at these numbers. Right now, I'm sitting at 218 sales this month. So, and again, like to me, this is one of the better months, but it's still like it's not a month that, like I've had much better months, but still like I'm doing $4,000 by the end of this week, by the end of the month. I'm gonna be doing $5,000 in royalty in sales, which is pushing royalties just in the U.S. to about 800, 900, maybe $1,000. Uh, getting sales of 200 and plus uh, sales a month on a regular basis now, right? Of course, as I went through, that's not always the case. There's like drops, there's spikes, but I'm just saying. And I did a video of the review of 2021, and it turned out that I was getting over $1,000 in royalties on average every month because I would have months like this, and then I would have lower months like this. But in either case, I wanted to compare my this year, and then I wanted to compare my overall numbers um, from last year. So this is kind of I'll just let this load. So for example, if I was to look at April, so let's say April, which was last month, I had 162 sales in the US, and then April of 2021, 193, right? So you'd think that this is where the money is. This is where the success was, and this was the better month, right? But if we go and look at overall sales, and let me just see where we are. So this is May 20. Let's just for the sake of conversation, because I was already talking about April, we'll jump right into April. But I also wanted to show you guys May as well. So this is April 2021, and we're gonna go down. So 226. This is the 193 that I was talking about with the U.S. sales. And look at these international numbers, right? Now, if we go back to, or I guess forward to April of 2022, which was just last month, the difference is about 50 sales. But look at the international numbers. This is what I wanted to show you because my US sales have dropped significantly over the last couple of months, but I'm still beating out the previous year and in a significant way. Like this month, doesn't seem that extreme, but still having 50 sales more when you're doing 250 or 200 sales in total, we're talking about 25% growth, right? Uh, and that is significant. Let's go to this month. This month is not over. Let me just see. So today's the 26th, like I said. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with today, let's say 6 days left. So about a week worth of sales. I'm sitting at 302 so far. And then let's look at May of 2021, 227. So this is even a much bigger growth. Like this could possibly, hopefully, will be over 100 sales more, maybe 120. So we're talking about 35 to 40% increase in sales year over year. Now again, when we're talking about like 300 sales, people would think, well, there are definitely accounts with, thousands of sales. That's true. But when you're looking at the percentages, this is a significant growth. And while I'm not happy with the growth that I've had over the last year, I still, if I'm thinking about the positives here and concentrating on the actual growth, look at uh, the numbers internationally. Look at my U.S. sales. Okay, slight difference, but look at the international sales. Now this is where the difference comes in, and this is where we can't deny that this kind of stuff adds up, especially over the course of the year. So overall, what I'm trying to say is that there has been some significant growth year to year, and it doesn't look like it's stopping, because the feelings that I'm getting right now is that I'm going through some of the slowest time of the year, like slowest times of the year, slowest sales of the year, and they're still beating out my last year by, like I said, 20 to 30 to 40% each month. So let's go back. So this is March. So I have a feeling that this is going to be completely different. There's ups and downs. So 308, and then let's look at month of, I'm not sure why this is jumping like this every time I click something, doesn't matter. It's making me work. Here we go. 321. So even some of the better months of last year, where, for example, look at this. So March 2021, I had 259 sales in the US. March of 2022, 168. So what is that? Almost 100 sales less in the US, and still ended up beating my total sales. And that's what I'm talking about. There is growth here. There's serious growth here, and it's easy to notice it when my US sales, and I'm going to jump back to this month, when my US sales, get back to what I would consider the norm, because my US sales have significantly dropped, but overall sales have spiked. And then when my US sales actually come back to kind of like the baseline, the total sales numbers are very easily noticeable. And this is what I'm talking about. Like this is my baseline, like 200 and something. And so far this year, it's kind of been a struggle in the US. And now I'm finally seeing an increase. I do have to keep in mind that all of my best sellers for 2021 are gone. Like they're making zero sales. And this is when they actually spiked. And I've done for you guys that have been following my videos for a while, know what happened around here, and I think a bunch of people actually went through the same thing, is actually very easily noticeable, because there was just a change, right? So none of those products actually are selling. So I'm doing these kinds of numbers without the best performers of 2020 and 2021. So right now, the fact that I'm kind of getting out of that small little, like call the, baseline or whatever it is, uh, I can notice the difference right away because my total sales are just going great. So in that case, basically what I want to say is, uh, one thing that I've learned is honestly learning to use tools that I haven't used before. And I understand that this could be costly to some people, but even going forward with this channel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about uh, more about certain tools that I'm learning about, like AMZ Scout. I'm already talked about Merchant Former. I've talked about Vexels for designs. Now there's another one that I've actually found, that I'm gonna start working with and using, which are all American Graphics, all Sunsets designs, and what I want to do later on this year, as I'm going through the year, I actually want to start doing interviews with people who I would consider experts in certain categories, because I think that would be helpful to you guys. Because to talk about things that I might have missed a couple years ago, and if you guys are just starting out, to actually have that knowledge in advance and actually to be able to use the tools to get expert advice and opinions, I actually really think it would be helpful. So that's what I'm gonna do. But the purpose of this video was just to give you an overview of how consistent work, it really does pay off, and you really never know when you're gonna get those like extreme spikes. But overall, I mean, merch is just, to me, amazing, and that's why we, all of us, are in this business. And I just say let's help each other, and we'll go from here. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys. I'll talk to you soon.